A mother's love is a positive accelerant to take action. For Jennifer Wiese, her company was sparked out of a desire to fill a void of delicious tasting gluten-free snacks her son with autism could enjoy. Since 2010, her company BeeFree has created more than $5 million in lifetime sales and is on a mission to create jobs for people with autism, giving credence to the idea that representation matters. We's joined me this week to tell me more about her son, her company, and her mission to make a positive difference. I'm Kevin McShann. Let's have this conversation. If you're ready, I'll take a moment to welcome you to the program. And I'm super excited to learn all about your personal journey and BeeFree this afternoon. Great to be with you. And thanks so much for being here.
Likewise.
So, Jennifer, I know that you believe that we all have a warrior story in which to share and that we learn and grow together. So I'm wondering why that philosophy is so important to you, and if you can share a little bit about your personal story with me this afternoon.
Oh, of course. I would be happy to. I really believe that we were made to live in community. We weren't really designed to live on our own. And so having people, believers, community around you and surrounding you is a pretty, it's a nice way to get more joy and find more purpose out of your life. And so we believe that there's a lot, that everyone has a gift and everyone has their specific journey that they've gone on. Everyone has their own struggles, and all those things together come together and make you unique in who you are. And so surrounding yourself by people who have similar and different abilities and beliefs is it's just really a fun, joyful way to live.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Jennifer, I always believe that everyone's portrait of success is different and that we all have a story and we deserve a platform to share it. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to become a journalist, so I can relate to that for sure. And tell me, I know that your company, BeeFree, was started because you wanted sort of an outlet or a way for your son who has autism to have snacks that he could enjoy that were gluten-free. And I know it's been successful for you. So I'm wondering if you can tell me all about the company BeeFree.
I would be happy to. So BeeFree was created back in 2010 after years, literally years of developing recipes and learning about gluten-free and just really kind of how to live that gluten-free lifestyle. And it all started from a conference my husband and I went to in Vancouver. And it was an autism conference, and they had lots of different teaching sessions, and one of them that we attended was on gluten-free, and gluten-free as well as just kind of clean eating. So no preservatives, nothing artificial, no gluten or dairy, no junk, as we like to say. And so that sparked some interest with us, and it felt like something that we could get our hands around and we could apply to our family. So that started our gluten-free journey back in 2008. And if you think back that many years ago, gluten-free was not mainstream in the grocery, and it was not readily available in restaurants. And it was tricky. If you wanted to eat gluten-free food, you pretty much had to make it. And so that's what we did. We just got busy in the kitchen and we recreated favorite family recipes. And it was a lot of effort, and it was a lonely process because not a lot of other people were doing it. But the impact and the benefits for our son were immense, and they were enough that it made the effort, that, it made it worth it. So
Yeah,
that started our journey.
yeah, absolutely. And tell me, what's the biggest and best lesson you think you've learned from your son during this journey? I'm curious.
So many lessons. There's so many lessons that we've learned. I think one of them is slowing down and appreciating the little things in life, and just appreciation for the simple things. I think he's been a great inspiration and a great lesson in being patient as well. So those are probably some of the bigger things we've learned from being his parents.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know one of the missions of the company is you're committed to giving people with intellectual disabilities and autism, specifically employment opportunities, because as you and I both know, that the employment rate for folks with disabilities or the unemployment rate is significantly higher. So tell me why it's important for you to provide an avenue for uh, folks with disabilities to find meaningful work.
Well, we've seen firsthand some of the struggles, with our son. Our son is 26 years old now, and we've seen some of the struggles that he's had to deal with. And having a business, we feel like we have a platform to make a difference in that area. And so, we really also feel like people, with any kind of a disability, they're often underestimated, and that just doesn't sit very well with us. And so we really feel like people need to have a platform and a chance and a place to feel needed, to feel welcome, to belong, and to earn a meaningful wage.
Yeah, tell me, Jennifer, I'm curious if you had a platform or an audience with employers and you had to tell them about the positive benefits of hiring people with disabilities. I'm curious, what would you tell them and why?
Well, it's an honor, honestly. It's an honor to be able to provide jobs for, people who are often overlooked. So I think people who own a business, I feel like we owe it to our community to pay attention and to be inclusive. And I think that, small businesses and large businesses can equally make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know for you that it's also important for your son and those that you come in contact with who have autism to also live a full and active and sociable lifestyle. So tell me about the importance of making sure that your son lives a full and active lifestyle where he can be included in the things he wants to be included in. I'm curious.
Well, we're all human, right? Disability or not, and we all have wants and needs and dreams. And so it is vitally important that he feels welcome, that he feels included, that he has a social network. August is the oldest of four sons, so he's grown up with kind of a built-in network of friends with his brothers, and they're really close. And his happiness is really, really important. And the fact that we know and understand him and obviously accept him for who he is, it's just the way we roll. And so we will continue, we as his family will continue to, look for ways that, he can be included and he can be the best that he can be. We want that
Yeah,
for him and for all our kids.
yeah, absolutely. And I'm also wondering your thoughts or a message you may have to parents who have recently received a diagnosis of their child being autistic. What would you tell them to sort of lift their spirits up as they begin this journey? I'm curious.
Well, I would say number one, that your child is your child, disability or not. And to surround yourself with people that are positive and that maybe have been down the road a few steps ahead of you. But the positivity piece is really important. There's tons of negativity out there, and looking for the positive, supportive people and groups out there is really key. And just to, not let anybody put limits or a ceiling on your child, because that was the life that we lived earlier when our child was in grade school, and we just didn't allow it. And so just um, you know believing in your child and setting him up for success in the best way possible, he or she.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm curious to ask you about your overall definition of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and how you think that definition has evolved or strengthened over the years. When you think of DE&I, what do you think of? I'm curious.
I think that it definitely has gotten a lot more voice recently for a lot of obvious reasons, but it just inclusion and seeing people for who they are is you know is the way that we should be. And people have all kinds of gifts and abilities, and if we only lived with the people that thought like us, dressed like us, look like us, it would be such a boring world. It really would. And so, just seeing people for human beings and being compassionate and kind, I really believe is the way the world should roll. And I think we're seeing more of that, and just giving a voice to just even the words, diversity, inclusion, just talking about it and having it in the media and having conversations like this are important, so that people do start to look outside of the box that they live in.
Yeah, it's important to celebrate your differences, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. Everyone has unique creative or unique abilities, and I feel like it's part of our opportunity as a business owner to be able to create those possibilities for people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm curious, when you look at the future of gluten-free snacks and food, what has you most excited about the future of the more options people can access when it comes to eating healthier?
Yeah, well, I think more and more people are looking at food as their medicine. And so for us, that's super exciting because it's the world we live in. It's the product that we created, so that people could have more of a variety. And we believe that real food matters. It matters what you put in your mouth because your body reacts to it. And so it's just super exciting that we really feel like we've been making and creating gluten-free foods kind of from the beginning, from when it really started to get on people's radar back in the 2008, 2009, when it was just becoming popular. And so it's super exciting for us. We've seen the whole evolution of gluten-free. And so for it to become mainstream and more people to accept it is super exciting for us. It just means that we have a larger audience in which to serve.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell me, what do you think about when you think about the exciting future of BeeFree and how you want to expand the company?
Well, it is exciting, super exciting for us, especially now. That's a great question. It's very timely because we have a new flavor of Warrior Mix coming out next month. It's called Salted Caramel. And we also have a hot cocoa mix that we're going to be bringing to market as well. And we're super excited about that one specifically because that involves a partnership with a local agency in our town. And we're going to be able to pretty quickly create more jobs for people with autism and some disabilities. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell me, I mentioned before we started this, that you have an interesting background behind you. So tell me about the inspiration you draw from the things that you see every day when you go to work.
Well, one is, the people that work with us are so happy. They're so happy and excited to be working, to have the opportunity to, have nice people to work around that support them. And it's a friendly environment that we've created at BeeFree. And that's inspiring, when you know that you're providing a job for someone that might not otherwise have a reason to get up in the morning. That's really inspiring. And it also kind of shifts your mindset too. If maybe things aren't going your way that day, or you got up on the wrong side of the bed, or you just a little cranky, that's just not allowed, because the people that work with us are so happy and so thrilled to be working and having a purpose in life that it's really a nice little check to, not dwell on the small things, and just to live a happy life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm also curious to know why you came up with the name of your company. Why is it called Be Free? I'm curious.
I am so glad you asked that, because we get that question a lot. We love bees. We actually use honey to sweeten our product. BeeFree was a name that came out of a brainstorming session, and it was a name that we landed on because we felt like it was something that we could grow with. And it really means to be liberated from junk food, be free to make good, clean, delicious choices for yourself, and to have a positive outlook on life.
And tell me, as a parent of an autistic child, for you and your husband, tell me how that your bond has been strengthened, and sort of watching your child grow, and the strength of your own personal relationship with your husband. I'm curious.
That is such a thoughtful question. And I appreciate you asking that. The bond between my husband and I had definitely, anytime there's any, additional stress or anything out of the norm in your life, and you have a partner that is right alongside you, it just naturally, you can go either way. It can destroy you, or it can strengthen you. And we've had a lot of situations in our life that have been pretty tough, but we've chose to strengthen ourselves. And the way it usually works is, when he's down, I'm up, and when I'm down, he's up. And so it just happens that way every single time that we're there. We're committed to each other, and we're in this to provide, in this, as in this life together, to build the best life for ourselves, for our family, and to really make memories and create opportunities for others.
Yeah, and Jennifer, tell me, how do you define family unity as a family unit? I'm curious.
Well, you don't get to choose your family, right? And so we, are there for each other. And, we just are a super supportive, like you said, unit. We're a unit. We're, the Wiese family. And we choose to support each other regardless of, whether we might agree or not. But we are family. So we choose to support and build each other up.
Yeah, absolutely. And my final question for you is, I'm curious to know how you want your personal or professional legacy to be defined.
I want people to know me as being someone who made a positive impact in their life. I want people to know that I, tried my best. I put my best foot forward, and, I did some of the hard things so that people could have a chance at life. And that, I guess one last final thing, I want to be known as somebody who looks for the positive in people and in situations and make the most out of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell me, Jennifer, if people want to get connected with you personally or with BeeFree, what's the best way they can do that?
Absolutely. So our website is beefreegf.com. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn at Jennifer Wiese. We're also on social media, BeeFree Gluten Free on Instagram and BeeFreeGF on Facebook. We share lots of really great supportive information and fun tips and how to live gluten free and good food and all kinds of things like that. So yeah, I would love for you and the listeners to connect with us.
Fantastic. Well, as someone with a disability myself, I really respect the work that you're doing to try and be a positive change maker. And I really want to thank you for the work that you do for giving people with intellectual disabilities a ray of hope and for joining me this afternoon. It's most appreciated.
It was a delight. Thank you so much, Kevin. I appreciate it.